I had a conversation with my neighbor Martha last week. She's 78, sharp as a tack, and still tends to her garden every morning. But she said something that stuck with me. I don't need to live to 100. I just want to enjoy every year I've got left. And that got me thinking, how many of us wonder, deep down, how long do I really have? Well, what if I told you there are actual science-backed signs that can give you clues about your longevity? Not crystal ball predictions, but real habits and traits linked to living longer, healthier lives after 70. Today, we're diving into 5 of them. And the best part? Some are surprisingly easy to spot, and even easier to improve. Now, I know talking about lifespan can feel a little heavy, but here's the good news. These signs aren't about doom and gloom. They're about empowerment. Because when you know what to look for, you can take small, meaningful steps to add more vibrant years to your life. So let's get started with the first 2 signs. Ones you might notice just by glancing in the mirror or lacing up your shoes. Ever noticed how some people seem to slow down as they age, while others keep a spring in their step well into their 80s? Turns out, your walking speed isn't just about getting from point A to point B, it's a window into your overall health. Studies show that seniors who walk faster, and I don't mean speed walking, just a steady, brisk pace, tend to live longer than those who shuffle slowly. Why? Because walking speed reflects muscle strength, heart health, even brain function. So here's a little test. Next time you're out, time yourself walking a short distance. If you're moving at about 1 meter per second, that's roughly 3 feet, you're in the green zone. But if you've slowed down lately, don't panic. This is something you can improve with simple exercises like heel raises or short daily walks. The key? Consistency over intensity. Just 2 minutes of these a day can make a difference. And remember, it's never too late to start. My friend Joe began at 75 after a knee replacement, and now he's out walking his grandkids. Now let's talk about something you might not expect, your handshake, or more specifically, your grip strength. Researchers have found that a firm grip is linked to a stronger heart, better mobility, and even a lower risk of dementia. Think of it as your body's health report card. Here's a quick way to test yours. Grab a bathroom scale. The old-fashioned kind with a dial works best. Squeeze it as hard as you can and note the pounds. For men, a healthy grip is around 60 to 70 pounds. For women, 40 to 50 pounds. But if your numbers are lower, don't worry. This is another area where small changes add up. Try squeezing a stress ball while watching TV or carrying grocery bags lightly instead of using a cart. Even kneading bread dough counts. Fun fact, in Japan, they've used grip strength to predict longevity for decades. So next time you open a jar, give yourself a little pat on the back. You're not just making dinner, you're investing in your future. Now, these first 2 signs are all about movement. But our third sign? It's something you can't see in the mirror. In fact, it happens while you're fast asleep. You know there's an old saying, you're only as young as you feel. But what if I told you science has discovered you might actually be as young as you sleep? That's right. While we covered how your walking speed and grip strength can hint at your longevity, our third sign is all about what happens when your head hits the pillow. And trust me, this one might surprise you. Let's talk about sleep. Not just how many hours you get, but how deeply you sleep. Studies show seniors who regularly reach that restorative, deep sleep phase have sharper memories, stronger immune systems, and even healthier hearts. But here's the catch. After 70, many of us struggle to stay in that deep sleep stage. You might be lying in bed for 8 hours, but if you're waking up groggy, your body isn't getting the full repair time it needs. So how can you tell if you're getting enough deep sleep? One clue. Do you wake up feeling refreshed, or do you rely on that afternoon nap just to function? Another red flag? Frequent nighttime bathroom trips? They're the ultimate deep sleep disruptors. Here's a simple trick. Keep a sleep journal for a week. Write down when you go to bed, how often you wake up, and how you feel in the morning. If you spot a pattern of restless nights, try this. 2 hours before bed, sip chamomile tea, skip the caffeine, and dim the lights. Your brain needs darkness to produce melatonin, the sleep hormone. And if bathroom runs are the issue, limit fluids after 7 p.m. and try elevating your legs for 20 minutes in the evening. It helps redistribute fluids so you're not up every 2 hours. Small tweaks, big payoff. Now, let's shift gears to something warmer, your friendships. You might have heard that loneliness can be as harmful as smoking, but did you know your social life can actually predict how long you'll live? Researchers in a decades-long Harvard study found seniors with strong social ties had slower memory decline, less heart disease, and, here's the kicker, a 50% higher chance of living into their 80s and beyond. But wait, before you panic if your social circle has shrunk over the years, here's the good news. It's not about quantity. 1 or 2 close, meaningful relationships matter far more than a dozen casual ones. Even chatting with your mail carrier or joining a weekly book club counts. Take my friends Ben and Ruth. They're both 82 and host a monthly potluck for their neighbors. Ruth told me, "Some days, those dinners are what get me out of bed." That's the power of connection. So if you've been feeling isolated, start small. Call an old friend today. Just a 10-minute chat boosts mood and longevity. Or if you're tech-savvy, join an online group for a hobby you love. Remember, it's never too late to make a new friend or rekindle an old bond. Now, our 5th and final sign is something you eat every day, but it's not what you'd expect. In fact, it's hiding in plain sight in your kitchen right now. Have you ever heard the saying, "You are what you eat"? Well, when it comes to longevity, science is proving just how true that really is. And here's something fascinating. The secret to your lifespan might actually be hiding in your gut. That's right. Our 5th and final sign isn't about how fast you walk or how strong your grip is. It's about the trillions of tiny organisms living inside you right now that could be adding years to your life or taking them away. Now I know what you're thinking. Gut health? Really? But hear me out. Scientists studying centenarians, people who live to 100 and beyond, discovered something remarkable. These superagers almost always have a special mix of gut bacteria that's different from most people. And here's why this matters. Your gut microbiome controls everything from your immune system to brain function to how well you absorb nutrients. In fact, poor gut health has been linked to faster aging, memory problems, even heart disease. So how can you tell if your gut is helping or hurting your longevity? 2 simple signs. First, are you regular? I mean, really regular. Going at least once a day without straining. Second, do you often feel bloated or uncomfortable after meals? These could be red flags that your gut needs attention. The good news? You can transform your gut health starting today. Try adding just one of these longevity foods to your daily routine. A tablespoon of sauerkraut or kimchi, fermented foods are gut superheroes. A handful of raspberries, packed with fiber, or even a square of dark chocolate, the good stuff, 70% or higher. My 94-year-old Aunt Margaret swears by her daily kombucha. She calls it her fountain of youth in a bottle. Now, let's take a step back and look at the big picture. We've covered 5 powerful signs that can hint at your longevity. Your walking speed, grip strength, sleep quality, social connections, and gut health. But here's what's truly exciting. Every single one of these is within your control to improve, no matter your age. You don't need fancy equipment or expensive treatments. Small, consistent changes add up to big results over time. Take my friend Carl, who at 82 decided to work on all 5 areas. He started taking short daily walks with his neighbor, that social connection and walking speed covered. Began doing simple hand exercises while watching the news, hello grip strength, switched to an earlier bedtime with chamomile tea, better sleep, and added yogurt with live cultures to his breakfast, gut health. A year later, his doctor said his biological age had dropped by nearly 5 years. Now that's what I call turning back the clock. Friends, here's the truth I want you to remember. Longevity isn't just about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years. These 5 signs aren't a test you pass or fail. They're a roadmap showing where small changes can make the biggest difference. Maybe you'll focus on improving your sleep first, or start with adding more fiber to your diet. Whatever you choose, start where you are, use what you have, and take it one day at a time. I'd love to hear which of these 5 signs surprised you most. Drop a comment below and tell me which one you're going to work on first. And if you found this helpful, do me a favor. Hit that like button and share it with a friend who might benefit. After all, good health is always better when shared. Until next time, remember, your best years aren't behind you. They're ahead of you, waiting to be lived to the fullest. Here's to your health and happiness.